Good day, App Spies, it's James here. I'm doing a hands-on with the Banner Saga, which has just appeared on iPhone and iPad. I think it might just be iPad, don't necessarily quote me on that. I am in the middle of a little bit of a battle, an isometric battle in the middle of this tavern, you can see. I'm taking control of this chappie here. If I tap on him, there you can see him. Here are a bunch of things he can do in order to attack. I'm also taking control of these gigantic guys here with the massive horns. I'm part of this kind of giant tribe. The world is in a bit of a bad way. The sun has disappeared, which is never good. It feels like a Game of Thrones style, winter is coming style affair. And I'm helping out some king who's just been assassinated. And to do that, I've got to find some information, which I'm going to find in this tavern. Now, mid-attack, the battle system is medium complex, let's say. I'm going to try and do... Can I give willpower? Yes, I'm going to give some willpower to my allies, because these guys are absolutely mighty. But this fella here, you can see him in the white, he's not quite so tough as the other ones. So I'm using this guy to back him up, because the guy with the axe doesn't have a very good attack, so I might as well use him as backup. There you go. Now, he attacked him, and he only took 1 point of damage, because my guy, I think, is helping him out. Now, I'm now taking control of Mr. Horns here. I can move him around by just tapping on the grid. You can see where I can move to. I'm going to just tap 1 to move here. And then I'm going to turn around and swipe this guy up here in the face. Now, he's got 2 types of stat. You can see in the little banner that's up the top there. He's got 8, which is his shield power, and 1, which is his actual energy. He's nearly dead anyway, so I'm going to attack him just by hitting that punch button, and then tapping it again. A quick stab, and down he goes. And I've got some renown for it. I am renowned for stabbing dudes once and having them die. Okay, this guy's just done this super massive swipe and taken out a couple of people. I'm going to use him to attack this remaining dude here. He's got 5 shield power and 7 on his health. But I, because this guy's absolutely mighty, can either hit him once and break his shield and take 1 damage, or I could do 10. And clearly, 10 is the way to go. So, ka-swap. 10, and down he goes. Very, very nice. Now they take a turn. That's how it works. You don't control your entire squad, move them all around, do all the attacks, then switch turns. It's like you make 1 move, then the enemy makes 1 move, then you make 1 move, back and forth like that. So they've made their attack. This guy is going to attack this chap here. He can do 4 damage health-wise, so that'll take him out. You see those stars that appear? I can also add sort of a stamina point, or it's a willpower, I think it's called. This golden star, you can see it in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. I've got 8 out of a potential 6. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe 6 out of 8, I'm not sure. Either way, I don't need to use it. I can hopefully kill him. Yeah, in a single swipe. We're now in Pillage Mode, which is at the end. I think it means you can move people around and do some damage. I think I may have lost a guy. Oh, no, I've lost my guy. Oh, that's weak. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, well, never mind. He was kind of, I think he was a dude I was helping out. I'm not 100% sure. Right, I really want to attack this guy, the thug leader. However, this chappie can only move a certain distance. Here, there are other attacks and kind of tricks, talents they have. So, for example, this foot thing, it controls movement. If I tap on him again, I can't do that swingy attack, the purple one. Let's go. The sword will obviously attack, and this one means I can rest, and that will allow me to regain willpower points, I think. So they can tot up if I don't move. In this instance, I think I might just rest, because I can't get to him anyway. And then it will move to this guy, who definitely can get to him. So I'm going to move him up over here. Hang on. So I can attack the bejesus out of him. Go, go, go. And then we're going to press sword. We're going to attack this guy. I think I can take him out in a single swipe. 10. Let's see. Ooh, and down he goes. Now, the way that the combat works is that their strength is actually tied to their attack power. So the more you hack away at their defenses and the more you take off their hit point ratings, the less powerful their attacks become. So it pays to kind of attack a lot of people and lower all their attacks rather than necessarily just focus on one dude, because the rest of the guys in the squad will remain full powered and they'll kick your ass. Now here's the kind of conversation story part of the game. So here's the guy I was supposed to be helping. There they are, gods be damned, I've got to go and wash off this blood. Eric's looking out the hall's windows onto the bay. A fleet of longships approach with the sails of bold reds and blues. I was supposed to be helping this guy out, and he's searching for information or something. This is me, Ubin, this gigantic giant fellow, and they actually have horns on their heads rather than on their helmets, which is kind of badass. One banner I know well, Wagner. Next for the Vile Kingship, last we spoke, the other flag looks important. So we're looking at ships that are approaching and checking out their crests, their flags. Important guests. See what I deal with all day long? So this guy's a bit of a complainy chap. My guy's kind of cool, though. Things make more sense. You'd hoped I'd have a stake in saying everything's fine when the royal guests arrive. Not me, the governor. Don't know why I gave him that voice. He probably doesn't have it. It's all Nordic, as you can probably guess. It's all kind of like very Viking in its lore. Can I ask for one more favour? Oh, right. So I get choices now in a kind of choose your own adventure style. So, no, I've already done enough. Or what is it? I'll say what is it. If you happen to stall our guest down on the dock, I wouldn't object. I say maybe. Eric and Vanguard hustle from the meat house. To his credit, Eric tosses a barkeeper's spar of silver for the mess. Han Solo style. You give an apologetic shrug and go to meet guests at the dock. There is some actual voice acting and some kind of cutscenes. It's all done in this lovely animated style that reminds me of 80s animations, kind of TV shows, as well as things like Don Bluth animations, if you remember the 80s, like I think Rats of Nim or whatever, that was him. So there's a kind of map of the area I'm currently in. This is this stronghold I have visited. The guy was assassinated way at the top there where you see the yellow flag flying, and I've kind of offered to help the king and try and get rid of the scrags, I think they are called, skags, skargs, something like that, which are harassing him. Now the docks are highlighted down here. I can zoom in. And if I tap on the docks, it'll move to that area. So that's how I move around. Wagner. A familiar Varl steps onto the docks. In your mind, you recall a much younger version trampling the halls of Grofheim. Abundant in purpose. Abundant in purpose. I like that. So it's one of my kind of quasi-comrades. Right. He's slagging me off and telling me I look old. And if there is a Wagner, there must be Hakon. There's his buddy. Must there. Still bleeding tributes from the poor and stupid old yocks. At what age do you lose a sense of shame? I should be doing this in a kind of Thor style. Jorundur demands it. I'll take that over lingering to death in Grofheim. Speaking of, I had no sense that you were so far from home. Just returned from Arbarang, in fact, and glad for it. Motions to the other ships in the bay, sails still fluttering, golden wolf head emblazoned in red. The king's whelp. Right, I'll skip through some of this. Miserable waste of time, yes, I'd almost forgotten. It's a good thing that you're around. I do like the way this is presented, this sort of switching back and forth over the guy's shoulder. I think, if I remember correctly, this has actually been cooked up by some of the people who were a part of BioWare and had stuff to do with things like Mass Effect. And there's a certain amount of familiarity, even though it's not 3D and everything. The way that the conversations are presented actually does remind me a bit of the Mass Effect system. The young prince of men ambles from the ship. He brushes off his tunic, scanning the beach with low eyelids. So here's a buddy. Are we going to get a proper animated cutscene? Just to show you what it looks like, maybe? Loading, thinking. No. We're back at the Great Hall. Okay. Weariness suddenly settles in and you chuckle to yourself about what an odd day it's been. One of the governor's men at the Great Hall could find you a place to sleep. On the other hand, if you are going to join Wagner's caravan tomorrow, it might not hurt to share a drink with Hakon. Okay, so that's going to be my choice. So I've got two options here. I can go and camp out with this guy, or I can go and chat to this fellow. I think over there's the prince, maybe. And over here's my mate at the pub. Let's go to my mate. Because I'm all about the buddies and hanging out with the dudes. You find Hakon in the mead house surrounded by other Varl. Strand is no stranger to Varl, but rarely sees this many. Hakon waves you over. Went straight for a flagon, did you? I like the fact he's always got a pen in his hand, a quill, like he's perpetually on the point of writing something. I suppose it's the modern day equivalent of always having your phone out with Notes app open. Every year I make the rounds collecting taxes. Every year it's the human settlements that give me trouble. No surprise. When I got here, the Grey Hall was already full of bodies. We've added a few more. Ha! Humans! Oi! Oi! Horny. Well, you know what I mean. I guess if I only lived as long as a yog's fart, I might be desperate to make something of myself too. Oh, they're knocking our short lifespans. Thanks for that. Down here I'm a glorified bodyguard. We're just having a nice catch-up. How you been? Yeah, I'm alright. Wife and kids good? Yeah, brilliant. Marvellous. Lots of hanging out. So, I am intrigued by this. I understand from the fact that it's been out on Steam for a while. It was originally kick-started way back when. Let's go to this guy and talk to the prince. So it's been out for about 6 or 8 months on PCs, and it got roundly positive reviews. It's quite downbeat. Some of the decisions that you make tend to result in negative things happening. It's a bit Walking Dead in that regard. Like, people are always going to suffer no matter what you do. And when you buy things like resources, when you upgrade your weaponry, and when you buy troops or get recruits and stuff, it all comes from the same resource pool as you get things like food and supplies from. So if you kit yourself up with loads of weapons, you might not have enough food left to feed your guys, and they might die. So you have to make these constant decisions. Right, what do I want? To introduce, to learn more, or... I like the habit of recording history. That's cool. A vile historian. Don't you already know? Your king and mine both have been practically trumpeting it throughout the land. Okay. Well, it's currently available on iPad. I think it's an iPad-only affair. It's £6.99 or $9.99, so be wary of that fact. It is a little bit more expensive, but it's sort of presented very well, and I'm already interested in the story. The writing seems pretty good. The combat system is a little bit more complex, perhaps, than some of the other turn-based stuff, but I'm getting a flavour for it. I'm kind of interested. So, yeah, Banner Saga, out right now. Go and have a look if you fancy it. This has been James with AppSpy.com. We review, you decide.